Welcome to the Petey Greene Program's National Pre-Service Training. We are very thankful that you have decided to pursue educational justice for currently and formerly incarcerated people by becoming a volunteer tutor to support the freedom dreams of these learners. We don't take your presence nor your commitment for granted. This intro to PGP video is the beginning of the training that you will complete before you can begin tutoring this semester. You will complete the remaining 4 modules during the live or recorded trainings with the Petey Greene Program staff. Please keep in mind, it's important that you complete any pre-work and required reading before attending the Zoom training days. You can find all pre-work in the Petey Greene Program Google Classroom. Your preparation is greatly appreciated. So in this video, we will share a brief history of the Petey Greene Program and learn more about our current work. We'll explore how the Petey Greene Program pursues its mission, its vision, and educational justice for currently and formerly incarcerated learners. If you have any questions after watching this, please direct them to your regional Petey Greene Program staff person. So before we dive in, it's important to note that the Petey Greene Program uses people-centric language. We ask that while you are representing the program, you also use this type of language. Words like inmates, ex-offenders, and felons are reductive of people's complex identities and evoke feelings of otherness. We use terms like people in prison, formerly incarcerated people, system-involved people, and system-impacted people in an act of solidarity to resist the punitive labels circumscribed by the criminal legal system. In our context, these people are usually students, and so we can simply refer to them as students or as learners. During the National Pre-Service Training and in your time volunteering with us, we'll be using people-centric language and invite you to join us. As a new volunteer tutor, it's important that you understand the history, scope, and scale of the work that we do at the Petey Greene Program. So here we go. The Petey Greene Program is an educational justice nonprofit organization founded in 2008. Since then, we've grown to be the largest multi-state tutoring program supporting the educational goals of currently and formerly incarcerated learners. And since our founding in Princeton, New Jersey, we've grown to support the educational goals of currently and formerly incarcerated students enrolled in educational programming in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Virginia, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. In these 15 years, PGP volunteer tutors have supported roughly 16,000 students and over 50 correctional facilities and reentry programs. We've placed more than 3,200 volunteers from 30 colleges and universities in 7 states and the District of Columbia. In the year before the pandemic, we placed over 800 volunteers from over 30 colleges and universities each semester. These volunteers provided over 11,000 volunteer hours, tutoring more than 2,000 learners confined in approximately 40 carceral facilities. In the last academic year, we placed 244 volunteers who supported the educational goals of more than 600 learners. And PGP volunteer tutors support learners who are enrolled in educational programs where they are pursuing high school equivalency credentials, college degrees, or vocational certificates. In some cases, the PGP is the educational provider, and volunteers are supporting learners who already have a high school equivalency credential to build literacy and numeracy skills necessary for success in college and careers. We support learners confined in jails, prisons, and juvenile detention centers. And we support formerly incarcerated learners through partnerships with a range of community-based reentry programs. And this tutoring is provided in person, virtually, or through a hybrid or blended approaches. And we are here today because you'll be volunteering with the Petey Greene Program. But who exactly is Petey Greene? Ralph Waldo Petey Greene Jr. was a formerly incarcerated Black man who in his life after incarceration served as a community activist and pioneering media personality in Washington, D.C. He dedicated his life to advocacy for racial and social justice. The Petey Greene Program's founder, Charlie Puckhammer, first met Petey Greene in 1963 while leading the United Planning Organization in police community relations. He was so inspired by Greene's powerful life and advocacy that he founded the Petey Greene Program as a nonprofit 501c3 organization in 2008, 25 years after Greene's passing, with the goal to strengthen educational services available to people in prison and jails. The Petey Greene Program continues this legacy by providing and advocating for the highest quality education for incarcerated and formerly incarcerated people, and educating volunteers on the injustice manifest in our carceral system. Now that you have a background on our work, we will now explore our mission and vision statement. But what is exactly the difference between the mission and a vision? Okay, a vision statement describes the future that the Petey Greene Program imagines and hopes to create, while our mission statement defines the methods we will use to work towards that vision. So in other words, the vision explains our goal, and the mission describes how we will get there. So let's take a look. The mission statement of the Petey Greene Program reads as follows. The Petey Greene Program supports the academic goals of incarcerated and formerly incarcerated people through high-quality volunteer tutoring programs, while simultaneously educating and engaging with volunteers around the injustices manifested in our carceral system. So we accomplished the first part of this mission through our commitment to providing high-quality tutoring, which you will learn more about as you proceed with the pre-service training. We accomplished the second part of this mission through various justice-oriented leadership programming aimed at activating advocates for educational justice. We are one of the many organizations providing educational support for currently and formerly incarcerated learners. We join with other organizations doing critical work towards educational justice. Our theory of change is focused on improving educational access for those who've already experienced harm by the criminal legal system. We believe that we are mutually responsible for one another, that we cannot discount anyone, and that every person deserves access to education. This is why we imagine a world where all incarcerated and formerly incarcerated people have access to high-quality academic programs. We want our volunteers to join the students that they support in reimagining educational justice. So, as you learned moments ago, you will participate in 4 modules for the National Pre-Service Training. The National Pre-Service Training is one part of 3 offerings that you will participate in as a PGP volunteer tutor. All are designed to help you build your tutoring practice and to help you become an advocate for educational justice. The National Pre-Service Training is designed to make you volunteer ready. By this, I mean you will learn more about the context and practice of tutoring with the Petey Greene Program. There are 4 modules included in the National Pre-Service Training that are spread out over 2 days. On day 1, we focus on the tutoring context by learning about educational justice and the Petey Greene Program's theory of change, by learning about the challenges faced by currently and formerly incarcerated people and how these challenges might impact students' pursuit of education during tutoring sessions, and by learning about the role of education in the reentry process. On day 2, we focus on the practice of tutoring by learning about the role, process, and practices of high-quality tutoring, and by discussing how we can be ethical tutors, avoid carceral humanism, and engage intentionally. After you complete the National Pre-Service Training, you must attend your regional program orientation. At the regional program orientation, you will meet with your regional PGP staff and other tutors in your region to learn more about the details of your specific tutoring program placement. During this semester, you must attend one webinar that the PGP hosts as part of our Educational Justice or Justice Education series. The Justice Education series builds on the concepts explored on day 1 of the National Pre-Service Training to support your growth as a justice-oriented citizen in PGP tutoring. And lastly, throughout the semester, you must attend at least one tutor development training. The tutor development training is designed to help you enhance your tutoring practice. So now we've reached the end of the intro to the Petey Greene program. We want to thank you for your attention and participation. It's important to us that PGP volunteer tutors feel comfortable communicating the what, why, and how of our work. So congratulations on completing the first step of the National Pre-Service Training. Thank you again for your commitment and dedication. We look forward to a great semester of tutoring with you. Take care.